Welcome to Fixation Rotation Podcast. My name's Sarah.
And my name's Jessica. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we have an Instagram and it is called Fixation Rotation Pod.
And if you want to email us, if you still are someone that uses email in your spare time, you can contact us at fixationrotationpod@gmail.com.
So, Sarah, what are you hyperfixating on this week?
Well, you might have a clue by this in my background.
Oh, no.
I am hyperfixating, as usual, on dolphins, particularly dolphin motherhood.
So, you said as usual. What does that mean?
So I've been a dolphin girl. Some people are horse girls. I would self-identify as a dolphin girl
Did
for
you
the
want to
most
be a
part.
marine biologist? Did you want to be
I
that?
did have a little stint of wanting to be a marine biologist and, wanting to be the first one to decode the dolphin language.
Okay, that took me a step further than I thought it would go. I thought because I feel like most kids go through marine biology. They think they want to be a marine biologist.
Oh no, like first year psychology, like my all my
Oh,
essays, I wrote them on dolphins. I was like, "Oh my
That's
gosh."
so that was older than I,
Yeah.
I I was thinking more like when we were like 12. No, you brought that to your undergrad with you.
Yeah, I
I love
did.
this for you. I love this. Okay, so you're a dolphin girl. Cool.
So, yeah, big fan of dolphins. And I will say that when we were getting our podcast logo made, I was like, Jessica, it's missing a dolphin. And so she went back to the person designing it and requested that they add a dolphin. And so here we are.
Yes. Yes, it was missing a dolphin and there is a dolphin in it. So go to our logo, you can spot the dolphin. And
Spot the
that's because
dolphin.
Sarah is apparently a dolphin girl. I wasn't really sure why you were requesting a dolphin or why we're so obsessed with dolphins, but now it is coming together.
I just think dolphins are one of the most fascinating species because they have the second largest brains compared to human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into it. We will get into the complex, nuanced life of dolphins.
All right.
Yeah, non terrestrial intelligence, as many scientists would describe them as.
I'm really excited because this is Sarah's first subject. This is the first time we're switching our fixations. We started with mine last week and now we're going on to Sarah's. Now I feel like I'm excited to learn something that I don't have to research myself. Maybe that's why people are tuning into the podcast as well.
Yeah, maybe we have some other dolphin girlies out there. So it's funny because Jessica was like, "Can you do a whole episode on dolphin mothers? Like that seems to be niche." And I was like, "Girl, people do whole doctoral theses on dolphin mothers, so we can definitely do this. We can easily cover an hour of time with this. So
Let's dive in.
let's dive in. I like it.
Go
Very
Sarah. Go
smart play on
Sarah.
words there.
Oh,
Did you not even?
nope. Didn't even clock it.
So we're gonna just start off with a little Dolphins for Dummies background information. Do you know much about dolphin anatomy?
No. No, not at all. Nope.
So if you were to look at the male and female dolphins, how would you be able to tell them apart externally?
Oh my goodness. I I don't even want to guess, actually. I can't even wager a guess, nor do I want to.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to tell them apart
Oh, hidden
because they are like these
genitalia.
smooth torpedoes with hidden genitalia. So on the underside of the body, near their tail, they have what's called genital slits. And so the female genital
Oh,
slit has so
sorry.
in inside the female genital slit is the vagina and urethra, and the male one has the penis, which is all tucked up inside.
I just want to call it something else. I just wish that the person that named it maybe didn't say genital slit.
And then for the females though, on either side of the genital slit are the mammary slits. So that's where the nipples are. Everything is just locked inside. Just conveniently there so you got boob slit, you got genital slit and then boob slit for the females. Okay. But you
Wow.
can't tell otherwise you can't tell them apart because they're just
Smooth torpedoes, apparently.
smooth torpedoes that are that are also mammals, obviously, with the mammary slits. They were terrestrial at one point and then went back into the ocean. If you look at x rays, you can see doinky little hands in their fins, little, a vestigial.
Yeah, like kind of like this.
Yeah. what used to be paws or claws or whatever. And so their social life, they live in fusion societies, which means like they don't always have a permanent fixed social group. Like they kind of like go together in smaller groups sometimes get in bigger groups. It's fluid. Their social lives are fluid. They have very complex relationships. They change up partners. Not all they're not like, serial monogamous all the time. So it's a very complicated society that dolphins have, and their communication is even more complex.
Yes.
We still have not decoded it.
Oh, still, has there been, since your undergrad,
Mhm.
has there been progress in the decoding of dolphin language?
Yes. There are
Okay.
these devices that there's only two of them that exist. And they are very, I'm trying to remember what they're called, but they have a repertoire of a bunch of clicks and pulses and whistles and like what they might mean. And they can receive it and then generate it out. But they're very, very expensive. And like I said, only two of them exist.
Okay.
There's hopes and there's differing opinions within the scientific community as to if dolphins have a language or not, but dolphins are very, very bright. They're capable of understanding syntax, so they're able to understand that words within a sentence mean something based on their order, and that is something that not a lot of animals have the capacity for. But within the wild, dolphins have a very rich, complex set of ways that they communicate. So with whistles, burst pulse sounds, and clicks. And they can also use vocalizations and they learn vocalizations. And then we get to my favorite part, signature whistles. I think I've like talked to you about these before. Do you remember what they are?
Yeah, so is it kind of like what the penguins do? Like they have a specific thing that they call out with their young, and so the young can differentiate which one is their parent through all of the crowded.
Very, very similar. Yeah. So
Okay.
they have their signature whistle essentially acts like a name for them.
Mm.
And so the way they learn their own name, so they usually adapt their signature whistle off of their mother's signature whistle and then like name themselves essentially within the first few months to year of life. And that is their name for the rest of their lives.
So is it the same as their mothers or similar to their mothers?
It is unique and different, but kind of based off of their mothers.
Can you whistle an example for me?
Just joking. It's a
That's
joke.
actually really good. Did you also study how to talk to dolphins as well as
No, that would be a whole other episode. People that have taken a lot of acid and tried to talk to dolphins. No, but they oftentimes will call their own name, especially if they're in murky water for people to be able to for other dolphins to be able to locate where they are. But they also are able to mimic and call the names of individuals that they know and
okay.
respond to the names. So to me, like the fact that they have a name means that they are individuals, right? And the
Mhm.
experience of being an individual, of having that self concept, is something that has been studied by scientists. Like they're one of the few animals that can recognize themselves in a mirror. They're individuals that have an individual, unique, meaningful experience. It's hard for us to say what is their inner life like. Like, do they have hopes and dreams? And I cannot say that. We can be guilty sometimes of anthropomorphizing animals, but like dolphins are some of the closest to us, and we see this in not just their vocal learning and their communication, but also in their culture, which we'll get into. We know about echolocation is one of the ways that they get around. So dolphins can hear and see, but it's very hard to see underwater. Things can be murky, dark. Echolocation is one of the ways they get around. Human beings, fun fact, can also sometimes learn to echolocate. Obviously, not to the same extent as dolphins, but it's essentially they're seeing sort of the same way that bats do. So it's like built in sonar. Obviously, being mammals in the water, complicated,
Mhm.
right? Because one needs to breathe. So, how often do you think dolphins need to go up for air?
Once every 8 hours.
Nope. Try again.
Higher or lower?
Oh, way, way higher frequency.
4 hour, 3 hour, 1 hour.
On average, 2.7 times per minute. So, that's about every 22 seconds.
Oh, they like cannot stay underwater very long
Oh,
at all.
like they have to go to the surface a lot of the time. So this gets really complicated because this is why they only sleep with one hemisphere at a time.
See,
Did you know
I
that?
I forgot about this. These are like little factoids you hear over. Well, actually, do regular people hear these, or just people that are friends with Sarah? I don't know. These are factoids that I've heard over my life, probably only from you.
I don't know,
But
listeners, you let us know. Is it cuz you're my friend or cuz you're regular? So yes, they have what we call unihemispheric sleep. Cuz obviously when human beings sleep, we sleep with both hemispheres cuz we have this beautiful thing called automatic breathing. They do not.
oh no,
They have to continue, well, obviously they have to go to the surface, and so they have to coordinate their movement, and they have to breathe at the surface, and they have to remain vigilant in the water against predators. So they only sleep with half a brain at a
they must be
time.
so tired. You just
Oh,
must be so
we are gonna get to that. It's like
really.
it is mind boggling. Like Dolphin Mothers, man. We're not even at them yet. We're just talking like generic dolphins right
Yeah.
now. And so, an interesting anecdote, and this wasn't even in my podcast notes, but I just thought of it. So, they used to, when they would first try and do surgeries on dolphins and whales, like on cetaceans, they would die if they put them under
Okay.
because they cannot be put under fully because their breathing is a conscious action. They are not automatic breathers the same way we are.
How do they put them under now?
So to put them under for surgery, they have to use intubation and mechanical ventilation. Get some air to those lungs, get some oxygen to that big, beautiful brain. I feel like I'm like a teacher teaching like like a science lesson.
This is kind of how it felt for me too.
Okay, so are dolphins omnivores, carnivores, or herbivores? What do you think?
I think they're carnivores.
You're correct. They are carnivores. So they eat mostly fish and squid.
Perfect.
Kind of like whatever is there, and they forage a lot, and when they're hunting, they do it either cooperatively or by themselves. There are even some societies where local fishermen and dolphins have like a partnership, and they help each other get fish. Very cute.
Huh. Yep.
Yeah, I love it when you when humans actually work together with other animals instead of destroying them. But we're not getting existential. We don't get existential here. Okay.
We'll do that later in our own time.
Yeah, exactly. Dolphins also use tools. So they use marine sponges a lot to protect their rostrum, which is their like snout nose thing. It's like their personal protective equipment so that it doesn't get like stung by.
Are we talking about PPE again?
Yeah,
We're still talking about
we're
PPE.
still talking
Okay.
about PPE thanks to the dolphins who've probably had PPE longer than humans. And this is a learned behavior, so they teach their young how to.
That's what they use to clean themselves, or they put it on
They
themselves.
put it on their nose to protect their rostrum from getting stung or from like chemical burns from whatever plants and things like that.
My goodness.
I know. So
Wild.
smart.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have trends.
A dolphin trend.
The dolphin trend. So they like this has been seen. Just random things. There'll be random groups of dolphins that will just start doing things and people are like, why? There was a group in the 80s, a group of dolphins that just started putting on dead salmon and wearing them as hats. And like they did this for like a while and then it stopped. And then it popped up like a couple decades later, just like the same behavior. And so sometimes they'll wear sea sponges as hats. Sometimes they'll wear dead salmon as hats, not for any particular reason. I think the dead salmons was mostly the males trying to show off for the females.
Maybe.
You
Yeah,
know,
that could be right.
I cannot think of anything less appealing. Yeah,
Milady.
I know. I don't know, man. I'm gay. I don't know. What do men
I
do
look.
these days?
No, I don't. I hope not that.
So yes,
Oh
they
my
have
god.
culture that has to be taught and passed down. Then we'll get to sexual maturity and reproduction. More about those genital slits.
Well,
I'm just joking.
God.
Um,
Jesus.
so dolphins live on average about 20 to 40 years in the wild, but some females live as long as 60 years. And females hit puberty around 8 to 10 years old and males around 10 to 13 years old. So it's actually like pretty similar to human beings. And dolphins, those motherfuckers do not have periods. They have what is called
Oh.
an estrus cycle, but there's no visible menstruation. Pregnancy lasts for 12 months. So, like
Oh,
similar.
those poor females. Unless Unless they like to be pregnant. Some people do.
Yeah.
Maybe the dolphins like it.
And dolphins are people too, so who knows? So dolphins are pregnant for about 12 months. Females give birth on average every 3 to 6 years.
Okay.
So they have quite a long period of nursing their calf and also teaching them all the things that they need to be able to do. They typically have one calf, and the calf is very dependent on the mother and needs to be taught everything explicitly, very similar to like human childhood. And they often teach their calves like through play. And so, what I found interesting, calves are born tail first. Because obviously, with humans, the head comes first. But calves are born tail first, and they think this is to reduce the risk of drowning because their head is still inside getting oxygen from the mother, from the placenta. And then when they come out, they need to be physically helped. Like it's like rushed to the top to be able to
You know,
breathe.
I think I might have known that fact. Maybe from you.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not
Yeah.
all the time, but oftentimes there are like other dolphins that will accompany the female dolphin while she's giving birth, and then they help assist getting the baby to the top.
Like a little dolphin midwife.
Like a dolphin midwife, dolphin doula.
I'm having deja vu, Sarah. I feel like we've either talked about this or I'm actually having deja vu.
We've probably talked about this.
Yeah. This is what it's like to be friends with Sarah, folks. You just know this.
I swear to God, there are other topics of conversation, but I can't really think of
No,
any
we've
right
actually
now.
only ever talked about
We
dolphins.
we only talk about dolphins. That's all I do in my spare time. No. So now we are getting to the fun part, Dolphin Mothers. And oh man, I was up last night like 8 to 9 times. I lost track. My kid had a fever and was sick. And you know what I thought? I
What?
thought, damn it, those dolphin mothers, like, how do they do it? Okay.
But they don't have to sleep. Or they just don't get to sleep. I guess it depends on
They
how you see
don't
it.
get to sleep at all for the first 2 months.
Oh, neither hemisphere.
Neither hemisphere.
Oh,
Like,
no.
so,
Oh, no,
well,
no.
like in the first month postpartum, both their eyes are open and both hemispheres are vigilant 93 to 98% of the time. So they're
Woo.
like, they are not getting a lot of sleep. And they have to be in constant motion because, well, they need to go up, a couple times per minute for air. Their calves need to go up more. And they also need to help usher their calves up to the top. So, like, plus keep their
God.
calves safe from danger, plus making sure that they're constantly getting food and nursing and exhausting.
That is so inefficient.
Like, they don't have a snoo, they don't have a swing, they can't just like plop their baby down.
They don't even have another person that could maybe hold the baby for a second.
No, because you know who's the least present? Dolphin dads. They don't even know who the dad is. So dolphin dads are just deadbeats.
Okay, good to know. Should we get a t-shirt made that says dolphin dads are deadbeats?
That would be a good t-shirt.
Yeah.
So the sex lasts for 10 seconds and they're deadbeats. Wow. What a contribution. And the babies are also awake for the first little bit, like almost all the time, because
Ugh.
they got to get that oxygen and they got to learn all those things in order to survive.
How is this species still going? That's how I feel about it.
I know. It's so intense. Like, because
Mm.
obviously, like for us, with our newborn, you can like lie next to them and relax, but like a dolphin mother is literally in motion all the time with her newborn. So, how would a dolphin carry their baby?
Okay, so they have little fins. So I'm assuming there's more of like a balancing act, like kind of ping ponging them back and forth. I'm kidding.
Like, what is that? What is that game that's at arcades?
Pinball?
Pinball?
Pinball.
No, it's not pinball. There are like two positions that are extremely popular that it's not actually carrying, but it's the mom is doing extra work and it is making it easier for the baby to swim and do all the things. So the first one is the echelon position, and this is like so the calf swims like very close to the mother's flank, so like the side fin 10 centimeters away, so very, very close. And so basically the mother's fins create like a pressure wave, and about 70% to 100% of the time within the first month after birth, like the calves are in this position, like right next to the mom. And it makes the calves be able to swim about 28% faster. They don't have to put in as much effort because they're just like in her current kind of. But it's more work for the mother, of course. The other position is called the infant position. And this is one that they go in more as they get older. And it's like they're right underneath the mom's tail or near the back tail. They're very close to her and it protects them from predators,
Predators.
etc.
What's like the biggest predator for a dolphin? Sharks.
Sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks. Yeah. Humans.
Well, yes. But sorry, humans is always expected.
And so when the mom is supporting the calf this way, like her swimming speed is only 76% of normal and she's putting in more effort. So it's kind of like us. We're slower when we carry our babies. You know, when you get touched out because your baby's always there, like
Oh my
like
god,
the mother
yes.
calf, literally, she cannot sleep. She cannot get touched out because she has to like multiple times a minute be helping this baby get to the top to breathe. Like this
Like
is
doesn't it make you just feel so soft as
yes.
a mammal? You're like, really? I can barely even fathom doing that for an hour.
Imagine if you were physically responsible for every breath that your child had to take. Like that is mind blowing. So like props to the dolphin moms.
You know, I've had a hell of a day, but you know, it makes me
Yeah.
feel grateful that that I get to have the rest of the night, God willing, you know, to sleep and not have to consciously think about every breath that my child is taking.
And so then we think about this is like locomotion, sleep, getting them to the top. When we think about feeding, which obviously is an important thing to do. So they nurse for about 20 months on average, which is like not that different from human babies. But when we are breastfeeding or feeding our baby a bottle of formula, we get to sit down, we have all our pillows, we have our phone and can scroll. The dolphins are moving. They have to be moving and they have to be coordinating going up to the surface for air still. And so like this is so much work. And then they
Oh
have these
no.
this fucking baby right next to their genital slit. So what do you do if you need to pee? I don't know. But the baby's like there and you have to coordinate this movement very hard. So again, I'm like everything that we feel is like complicated. We're like, oh, I don't know if they're latching right. It's like imagine running a marathon while trying to coordinate your baby doing that. Plus, you're making sure that every breath they take, they're breathing.
And you're going up to the surface 5 times a minute.
Like just learning about dolphin mothers is, I'm like, that's exhausting. Like, I'm really thankful to be a human.
Yes.
And, obviously they're doing their thing and I'm sure that they like their lives and stuff. But man,
It's interesting to think of having their signature whistle gives them perhaps gives them a sense of individuality, but do they feel happiness, sadness, stress like in the same way that we do and like burnout and like how do they process that?
oh, 100% they do. And
Okay.
like one of the things about the dolphin and mother relationship that is like the so sweet. Dolphins are the only other animal that we have found, like human beings, that use what we call infant directed communication or motherese. You know when we talk to our children like in baby talk? And in human
Mm.
beings, it's not just females. Like males do this as well. Fathers do this as well. So we like have a wider frequency range and higher maximum frequencies. And this sort of communication is thought to facilitate joint attention, bonding, vocal learning. It's like when we're like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, na, 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 na. Dolphin mothers do that. They
What?
studied the clicks between and the vocalizations between mothers and infants and mothers when they communicate with other dolphins and consistently when they are communicating with their infant they use this kind of like motherese. They use baby talk with their babies. Isn't that so cute?
That
Like
is
they
crazy.
yeah, so that is like a very special form of communication that exists and that's another example of like coevolution. So we evolved a very similar thing but like in parallel with dolphins, which I think is so interesting.
Interesting. What like where in evolution did we break off from them? Because obviously these all of these things we probably evolved together and then eventually we
No,
split apart.
no.
No?
One of the most interesting things about like looking at cetaceans. So like when I say cetaceans, I mean like whales, dolphins, porpoises. Like when you look at their brain structure and when you look at their communication and their socialization and how they parent, all of these things. This is like evolution producing intelligence. This is evolution producing baby talk and this really special communication between mother and infant twice independently, which I think is so mind blowing.
That is mind blowing. Okay. All right. Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so dolphin mothers, they have to teach their daughters how to use. I say their daughters because they typically spend more time with their daughters. Like the males will leave or will tend to leave earlier, and then they kind of just like go out in their little, their little male groups and hang out. But the daughters and the moms tend to have like longer bonds. Then we're gonna get into the role of like auntie dolphins. And like
Oh,
what, because obviously we're talking about a very specific relationship. We're talking about the role of like mother with her young. But if we think about, okay, what are the roles that the greater village, one might say, would the greater pod would provide for the mother? Because obviously, like, this sounds exhausting. We've all acknowledged that. So, does mother get a support system? I don't think she has a gym daycare where she can just like drop the baby off while she works out. But I do think that there are, there are those wider supports. This is referred to as allo maternal care. It would be like having like a guard. So sometimes they'll have like other dolphins that will help like guard the calves, or like they will make sure that again when they're giving birth that the calves can get to the top for air. Sometimes they will like swim alongside the mother calf pair, but it is not the same extent as like some primates will like legit leave their babies with like aunties to babysit them, but like this one they're more just like there, keeping an eye out, but they're not letting those moms get any sleep,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. At least there's someone kind of having your back, but they're like, I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll just make sure that you stay awake.
Exactly, yeah. The nice thing about it too is that like the moms are like gonna be very, very tired. They're gonna be like very, very overwhelmed. They're gonna be using like so much extra energy. So even having the other females around to kind of monitor the environment and to ward
Yeah.
off any potential predators is still like a huge survival advantage for them. Yeah, so anything so far that has surprised you?
Well, so many things. I think I named already a few of them. I forgot about they don't sleep with both hemispheres. I forgot about that. And the fact that they have to breathe so often and the babies have to breathe so often and the mothers have to get the babies to breathe so often. It's just as someone who's just tired right now, it just sounds so tiring.
So exhausting.
It's almost mind-blowing how just involved this is as for a species, because there are some species that the mom just pops out the baby and they're like peace out, or
Yeah.
even just like kind of peace out, but like I'll kind of help you with a few things, and then there's just depending on the species there's some mothers that are so involved, and this is just like very extra involved.
And then I have like a total like random side note. But one thing, you know how we always talk about like how COVID had such great impacts for us as human beings?
Mhm.
Have you ever thought about what impact COVID had for dolphins?
No. Sorry, that never crossed my mind.
So
Did dolphins get COVID, or was it because the people had COVID and didn't see the dolphins? What's going on here?
it was less to do with like our direct interactions with dolphins, and it was more that there was less sound pollution because the amount of like boats and ships that were going out was lessened. And so dolphins were able to, they modified their communication. They were able to communicate over wider distances.
They're probably like, finally, some damn peace and
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. And they ended up going to like places where they might not normally go because there's like too much human traffic. And so they kind of like modified and got a nice little break from all of our sound pollution.
I wonder if that's why the orcas started to attack boats again, because we came back and they were like, wait a minute. It was so nice not having you guys around.
I think another thing that's important to bring up too is like there has been a lot of change and reform within aquariums and like things like marine land. To have captive dolphins is not really considered ethical anymore, which is good because like could you imagine?
Well, that's kind of how I feel about zoos. I have like a bit of a really uncomfortable thing with zoos. Actually, me and you went to the zoo last summer, and my husband and I were saying to each other like, zoos, eh? Or maybe were me and you saying that?
I think we did like touch on it definitely that for like certain species, it just feels really weird.
I think for like most species, it feels very strange. But not no, I mean like obviously there's like at that zoo there was like some bugs and
I'm not really worried about the
I don't
beetles.
think the beetles care that much. If they do, then I'm sorry, beetles. But if there's like a bear, like I don't feel super comfortable with that. There's like a polar bear and it's like
No.
really hot out.
The cats that will like stalk back and forth humans, I'm like, they want to eat us. Like they do not want to be there. Like it is not a
No,
good
and I
time.
I understand like the nuances to the whole thing, but truly, yeah, it feels weird. So I don't love going to zoos. I don't love the fact, obviously Marineland or whatever it was called. Everyone loves Marineland.
Maryland.
Or that could be just a specifically Canadian thing, but we're not sure.
Dolphins that are born in captivity, like oftentimes cannot be let out into the wild because they will not survive because it's like a human being, say for instance me, raised in raised in a small city in eastern Canada. You cannot just put me in the woods somewhere in the original human habitat. Like I don't know anything. I don't know what plants to eat. I don't know how to hunt. I don't know how to survive. So the same goes for dolphins. If they do not have like someone that's teaching them those survival elements and like that culture, then they cannot survive in the wild. I think there are some arguments to be made for like conservation and like public awareness and education
Mm.
and but
Yeah, I went to the Dolphin Research Center in the Florida Keys.
okay.
Uh, and I don't know if it's still there or if that was humane. I'm not sure. This was several years ago. But guess who was there? Martha Stewart was
Okay.
swimming with the dolphins.
She was swimming with the dolphins.
She was swimming with the dolphins. We saw Martha Stewart, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Being from a small town, you don't see a lot of celebs.
No, I saw Nick Lachey once in New York City.
Oh my god, 98 degrees?
Yeah, Love
Nick
is
Lachey?
Blind. 98
Oh my god,
degrees.
Nick Lachey.
I know. He was wearing so much makeup. I digress though. I have like another funny anecdote that's not fully it's giving human stupidity. Because have you heard about people that will seek out dolphins for because they want dolphin assisted births?
Oh no. No,
they they think that like
Sarah.
dolphins have like some like spiritual power and energy and
I've heard of a lot of very strange movements when it comes to this subject, and I have not heard this one.
there is a whole website dedicated to this.
What?
Yeah. So I'm gonna send this to you so you can be involved because I want to see your reaction to this
Okay.
article.
Okay, you texted me the article. Okay.
Yeah, it's an article on the website.
Gentlebirthmethod.com. Oh no. Okay, wait. This was written September 23rd, 1990. So this is some old school shit. So I'll read the first couple paragraphs from a article from 1990. We're going to have to verify this is real, but we're going to put the link in the show notes because this is pretty fun. Sarah Evans reached out, gently stroking the dolphin's side. Her labor pangs subsided as she breathed deeply, relaxing in the warm waters of the Red Sea. Despite opposition from the Israeli authorities, Sarah had decided to go ahead and give birth with the dolphins to help her. Oh, sorry, help is in quotations. And although she had reservations about the lack of hospital facilities available if anything went wrong, girl, your instincts were correct the first time. Within 3 hours, she was holding a healthy baby son. She had flown out to this resort specifically to give birth with dolphins in the Red Sea. She was one of 6 pregnant women in a team of. Okay, this says doctors, but it's spelled Doctores. Doctores, therapists and masseurs who flew there after months of preparation by, a London obstetrician, Dr. Gowrie Motha. The idea was for the dolphins to act as aquatic midwives, helping the women to have tranquil labor. Wow.
She's not the only one. Like, there's an
I
article
know.
from The Independent in the UK, from 2015, and again, a woman in England that had dolphin assisted birth. And there's an article from the National Post. Dolphin assisted birth is a terrible idea, says marine biologist. Yeah, no shit. I did not need to be a marine biologist to know that this was a terrible idea.
This is insane. She later says, my only reservation that while I was in labor, I have the option of hospital facilities if I needed them. Yeah, I don't know. You're okay. Look, girl, you're lucky. You got lucky.
Okay, this just a quote from this National Post article that we can put in as well. Dolphin assisted water births. So, this is the Sirius Institute, which specializes in these births. It is about reconnecting as humans with dolphins so we can coexist together in this world and learn from one another, Heather told Charlotte Observer. The couple will swim with the dolphins before and after the birth in an attempt to make a connection with sea animals, even if the birth itself does not happen underwater.
The human ego is a fascinating thing, Sarah.
They say dolphins are very intelligent and healing, which calms the mother and the baby. Seems like a no brainer.
This is so unconsensual. Like fuck right off with this, humans. Dolphins don't want you around. I'm fairly sure they have not consented to this. Leave them alone. They're not coming up on the land to pop out a baby in front of you, unbeknownst to you.
Going back to what you said about ego, I think human beings, we want to relate everything back to us, and that's why we're like, dolphins are so healing and we can connect with them. And maybe they don't want to connect with you. Maybe they just want to like be left alone. They want to be able to do their own thing and, raise their own babies and live their own lives.
Yeah, maybe they think that we're like a less intelligent species and they stay away from us for a reason.
Well, I always think about dolphin brains. Like, I sound like such a normal human being. I always think about like how interesting it is that dolphins have a fifth lobe in their brain, the limbic lobe. Like, they have a
Okay.
whole lobe of their brain dedicated to processing emotions.
We don't have that.
We have like the limbic system, but it is not a lobe. Like, they're like a big ass lobe. And I always just think about too with like echolocation, like dolphin societies, they cannot lie because they're able to like with echolocation they're able to see each other's like heart rate and they can tell like who's pregnant.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So I always just thought about that piece, and I mean not to say that, not to like oversimplify their existence and act like they're so holy and perfect, because within dolphin cultures there are also, awful atrocities mostly perpetuated by the males. Um, it's
No
like,
comment.
well, I looked up like the males rule, and it's like males will often harass mothers and calves.
What about all the wars started by women, Sarah? There was one time an Instagram comment on one of our old posts said that women started all the wars, and we said, I'll never forget that comment. That was like
Yeah,
3 years ago.
that was like 3 years ago. But yeah, I'm sure it's not all male dolphins. Absolutely not.
Hashtag not all male dolphins.
Hashtag not all male dolphins, but dolphin dads are deadbeats. I think that pretty much wraps up.
Did we sum up the episode?
Yeah. And, these are, yes, there's some micro feminist aggressions in here, but I think that,
Oh, anyone who knows us knows we're just kidding, but maybe not just kidding. Who knows?
well, I think that's why it's really important to say, not all male dolphins, because if they're tuning in and listening, I don't want them to feel like their existence is defined by stereotypes within their society.
So well said. So well said. Thank you. Yeah.
What do the Gen Zs do?
I don't know.
I can't
What is
ever
this?
like, I don't know.
What's
It's like
that?
a weird like
Sarah's tapping her two fingers
it's a
together.
weird
What
like
is
clapping thing they do, being like, oh,
Oh no.
yeah. And I'm like, I cannot.
I the thing is, Sarah knows, and I've talked about this a billion times to her, but I haven't been on social media in quite a while, like in any real capacity. So I'm missing out on culture and trends. And I'm like, I'm becoming out of touch so much quicker than I think I should be. So it's up to you, Sarah, to keep me up to date on what's going on. So thank you for that too.
No, I was running with someone the other day and they didn't know who Nick Lachey was, and I was like, wow, I'm old.
What? Oh my God. Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
I know, straight to
Also,
jail.
that is surprising because yeah, you might not know because 98 degrees, like come on. But Love is Blind is that
I know.
transcends all age groups.
It really does. So any closing thoughts, remarks,
I think you
anecdotes?
said it well that we don't want to exclude the dolphin dads from the conversation. They're always welcome to reach out to us anytime with their thoughts and concerns. And that also, dolphin mothers, our hearts go out to you.
They mother more than all the mothers.
Yeah, they mother more than us.
They mother hard. Mad respect. Again, you're responsible for every conscious breath. Like,
Yeah.
if you take one thing away, it's like dolphin mothers don't sleep. So if you are in the throes of postpartum right now, I am not invalidating your experience. I'm just saying, talk to a dolphin. They have it worse.
If you had said that to me when I was sleep deprived, I would have told you to fuck right off.
Yep. Feel free to to tell us to
Feel
fuck
free to
right
tell me
off.
that. Well, that was fun. I hope that everyone enjoyed that. I didn't know that you were that obsessed with dolphins. Now I know. And it's, this is why we do this podcast. We like to share our thoughts with you, but also we're learning about each other after 25 years of friendship. Are we on 25 years yet?
24 years.
24 years. Next year, we're at a quarter century.
Our friendship is as long as the average dolphin lifespan.
That's the closing remark.
That is the closing remark. Thank you, everybody.